Hello everybody and welcome back finally to week 2, and it's not only Old Dominion's home opener for this season, but it's their first ever game as a member of the ACC, taking on the 18th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies. But first, let's talk about some defensive recruits, including defensive ends RJ Bennett and DeMarcus Watson. Keep an eye on Watson, he could be a really solid pickup for ODU at that position. A couple of defensive tackle prospects as well, and Brad Henley and Robert Bolden. Maybe not as immediately impactful, but guys that will certainly help bolster our defensive line a little bit more. The big position we really need this season, though, is outside linebacker. It's headed by Chris Witherspoon, Kevin Watson, along with Matt Evans and Billy O'Connor are the big targets. And look at Witherspoon. He's going to be special. Watson, a gem. 6'3", 210, looks very good. Could make an immediate impact for ODU on the defensive side of the ball. And Coach Frank Beamer retired last season, and former Old Dominion coordinator Brian Cook has taken over this season. So this creates a whole new level of rivalry here. Blacksburg, home of Virginia Tech in the western part of the state of Virginia, Old Dominion and Norfolk in the eastern side of the state, and now division rivals in the ACC Coastal Division. This sets up for a big game here, as it's a packed house at SB Ballard Stadium, and there's David Dixon coming off an outstanding performance against Rutgers. 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. And ODU looks to have similar success, but it's going to be a bigger challenge today against a very good Virginia Tech defense. They are across the board one of the best in the country as they open this season here. But Brandon Ellison on 3rd and 5 getting the job done. 21 yards pushed out of bounds across the 35-yard line. And now 2nd and 7. The passing game looking very effective so far. Ellison, Todd Jackson making plays. And on 3rd and inches, it's a jumbo formation. Handed off to Dixon, going right up the middle. Gets the first down. 1st and goal. We all love those goal line situations. Shotgun formation. See that a lot more from ODU this season. McCarley going to go on the option. Pitches it to Sullivan, who breaks a tackle. It looked like that play was going to be stuffed, but Scott Sullivan manages to get his way into the end zone, and ODU comes right out the gates, scoring against a very good Virginia Tech defense. That sets up for an interesting situation here on Virginia Tech's first drive. There's Brian Cook taking over from the retired Frank Beamer, and it's Bucky Hodges stopped. Jack Tocho came off the edge, and you're going to notice this isn't Virginia Tech's normal style of offense. They've switched. Brian Cook has now implemented a triple option offense. And this seems to be spreading in the ACC. Triple options from that Georgia Tech tree over there. The coaching tree is expanding, and they are spreading their triple option all over the place. And here Nick Tucker gets the pitch, shakes off a tackle, and he's going to get the first down and a little bit more, almost 20 yards there. 2nd and inches now. Option again for Bucky Hodges. He's going to hold on to it and gets about 5. The senior quarterback runs the option very effectively. He couldn't have asked for really a better quarterback to do it. He's a powerful runner, but he's got enough speed to make the defense miss. He's a tough cookie to handle. And on 3rd and goal, Hodges walks right into the end zone from a yard out. Both teams finding success on their first drives. And so here we go. Josh Silva lines up in that slot position, comes on the jet sweep, 16 yards. We'll see this continually more often, using the backup quarterback as the athlete that he is. But Dixon, he's been held so far in this first quarter, not been allowed to have very many big runs. 3rd and 10 now. McCarley looking to pass, finds Nick Carroll, who drops it, and the ball did not hit the ground. Isaac Freeman scoops it up, and it's an interception. Freeman inside the 20. Todd Jackson runs him down, but he gets to about the 7-yard line, and that's the first turnover of the game right there at the end of the first quarter. Nick Carroll had it, he dropped it, but the ball never hit the ground. Freeman scooped it up out of the air, And now 3rd and goal. The defense holding Virginia Tech so far. Hodges stuffed on the option. Great job there. And that's Justin Weddle coming off the edge. And ODU holds to just a field goal. So not a bad job by the defense to keep Virginia Tech from punching it in the end zone. 3rd and 7 now. Trailing by 3. McCarley looking to pass. Has Todd Jackson over the middle. And what an impressive start to his career he's had so far. 2nd and 6 around midfield. McCarley finds Brandon Ellison as they brought a little pressure and left some openings in coverage. Shotgun fake to Sullivan and Lawrence Reese on a bubble screen. They brought it again, and he had plenty of room to run. Reese is not a speedy guy by any means, but he made that play work. Some of the best hands on the team for number 11. Dixon on the handoff in. Touchdown! But there's a flag on the play, and it's going to be clipping against the offense, and that is a 15-yard penalty. So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 18-yard line. We jump ahead to 2nd and goal. Dixon gets the handoff right up the middle. They're finding a lot of success up the middle there, and Dixon gets right about between the 1 and 2 yard lines. He pounds it in and gives ODU the lead right back with under a minute and a half to go in the first half. It's 14-10. Monarchs have played quite well so far against the 18th ranked Hokies. But here looking for the first pass of the day, Carlos Parker pulls in a beautiful catch. And Virginia Tech, they're not going to pass the ball a lot, but when they do, they've got the players to do it. They're not one of those option teams that lacks a real passer at quarterback or real receivers. And here, look, Hodges gets turned around. And oh my, beautiful job by Kavon Walker. And another field goal Virginia Tech is held to. 45 seconds. Dixon, look at all the room, and an ankle-breaking juke. Gets 13. He had a lot of green, though. If he could have made more out of that play, ODU would have done something different. Unfortunately, they stalled on that drive at the end of the half. So it is 14-13, a tight game. These two in-state rivals and now divisional rivals battling it out for the 2nd time. Remember, I'll go back to year 1. Last time these two teams met, and Virginia Tech won fairly handily. But this one a lot more tightly contested, and ODU breaking out everything offensively, and it's worked for the most part. The unfortunate interception there. Nick Carroll just couldn't hold on to the ball, and unfortunately it fell right to the defender, but the defense has come up with the necessary stops in 2 big occasions where they've held Virginia Tech to field goals. And look at the time of possession, because option teams usually possess the ball a lot more, but the Monarchs are doubling that time of possession for Virginia Tech, and that's a huge stat in controlling this game. Start of the second half, Hodge is going to do a little option here on 2nd and 5, pitches it to Nick Tucker, and Kavon Walker and Chase brings him down, but he gets 27. And that's the big problem with the option. You just have so many things you have to worry about, lots of misdirection, and here a play action, a very good play call there as well to throw the defense off. As Wright had a nice amount of room to run there. 1st and goal now. Continuing with a lot of motion in this direction there, but Rashawn Doherty slams the quarterback to the ground. Great job there. 2nd and goal upcoming. Here we go. Hodges fakes the handoff to Workman, and Hodges, great read of the defense. They were coming right up the middle and left a lot of open space on the edges. And so that results in a Virginia Tech touchdown, and 2-point conversion is good. On top of that, the Monarchs would fail on their next drive. And here, Hodges, Rob Thompson, a terrible attempt at a tackle. He couldn't get a hand on Hodges, and it's a 47-yard touchdown run. Suddenly, the momentum has swiftly swung back in favor of Virginia Tech. A couple of touchdowns quickly for the Hokies, and now ODU has work to do, down 28-14. Dixon handoff here. He's going to get about 11. Great running to get the first down. That's what we want to see. He's been held in check a bit today. But here McCarley on an option has some room and brought down. Oh, it looked like he had the edge there and gets 22 still. 3rd and 8. Under a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. And down by 2 touchdowns. McCarley has work to do. He's got to get this team somewhere in the end zone. McCarley. Nobody was open. There was no options on that play. Everybody completely covered. And that sack really puts ODU in a bind now at the start of the fourth quarter. Don't want this to get ugly. Bucky Hodges shakes off a tackle. Kavon Walker rips the ball out and Roshan Doherty picks it up. And if only Doherty could have kept his feet, he might have actually been able to take that one to the house. If he hadn't stumbled, he might have had a touchdown or at least a very big return of the fumble because there were not many Tech players there to bring him down. Life now for ODU. McCarley finds Josh Silva. Josh Silva with the catch, and it's 36 yards. Perfect play, taking a shot at the defense right after the turnover. Not going to lie down and just accept this game as it is. They're going to go right at it. 11 yards for Dixon on that 2nd and 12 play. 3rd and 1 upcoming. And Dixon gets the handoff right up the middle. Touchdown of 5 yards. Dixon has another one on the day. And now it's a one-score game. The perfect situation for ODU. Forced turnover, score quickly. And now it's just about anybody's game here. Hodges stopped on the play. Great defense there. Chris Cleveland. Outstanding job. And it's 3rd and 10. Right where ODU wants Virginia Tech. Throwing the ball. And Jeff Robinson in coverage a bit too slow. The 6'5" defensive back can't stop the play. Huge gain there. And now Nick Tucker uses the force on Chad Robinson. I don't know what happened on that play, and Tucker gets in the end zone. Right back to a 2-score game now. Absolutely imperative that ODU score here. Looking deep on this play, and David Dixon was wide open underneath. Nobody was even close. That drive would end very abruptly. And now here's Workman, the big fullback. Hard to bring down. Just a rumbling, tumbling fullback. 3rd and 15, though. A situation that favors the defense usually. Hodges throwing off balance. Finds Faison in the end zone. And Josh Pitts blew his coverage in the end zone there. He overran it. Misstepped. All he had to do was just get a hand on the ball. But perhaps that's asking too much in a superior performance by Virginia Tech here in this fourth quarter, all in all. Minute and a half now. Brandon Ellison gets a big gain here. The Old Dominion just needs to score right away. It's going to be an uphill battle for sure, but 38 yards on that play certainly helps. 2nd and 4 now, just over a minute to go. McCarley finds Todd Jackson in the end zone. Hope is there. It's going to be tough, but hope is there. If we can get an onside kick here, 42-28 is the score. Onside kick upcoming. Can't mess this up now. Tommy Patrick going to drill it, and it goes right to the Hokie returners. And that's going to be the game. Virginia Tech wins 42-28, and a disappointing loss, but the Hokies are ranked 18th in the country. They're a very good team, and ODU did put up a very good fight in this game. There were positives we can take from it moving forward, especially offensively. I think, there was the unfortunate interception, a couple drives that just kind of stalled out that really could have helped the team come away with a better result. But the first ACC game in Old Dominion history is unfortunately a loss, and even worse, it's to an in-state rival in Virginia Tech. So now 0-2 all-time against Virginia Tech is Old Dominion. McCarley didn't have a bad day, though. 17 of 31, 215, touchdown, interception. Dixon couldn't quite get to 100 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. And notably, Josh Silva had a 36-yard catch and a 16-yard run, and that's what we've been using him more as an athlete, kind of more the player that he is. Use him at quarterback sometimes, but he's a guy who can kind of move all over the field. Roshan Doherty, Jack Tocho, tackles for loss. Big play was forcing that fumble. Unfortunately, in the end, Virginia Tech was the better team. So 1-1 is Old Dominion's record, 0-1 in the ACC. Tough way to end that game, especially after the performance against Rutgers. It was very impressive. And there's Hodges, 132 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns, a very good performance. He's 6'6", by the way. He's a big quarterback. So watch out for this Virginia Tech team, because they could be very dangerous with that kind of quarterback running the option. That's deadly. So watch for Virginia Tech this year, because they could be something else. First year without Coach Frank Beamer. That might be the best thing that's ever happened to them. I don't know. 3 deflections for Mike Thurman, the senior defensive back. Corey Schmidt, a couple field goals for him, and there it is. 300 yards rushing for Virginia Tech as a team. Their offense looks very good this year. That's that, everybody. Next video, it's going to be Baylor in Dallas, in Cowboys Stadium. It's going to be fun, guys. Baylor's been struggling a little bit in this dynasty, but we'll see how these two teams match up when they meet in one of the biggest venues in all of sports. I'll see you all next time.